What's good, YouTube? Steph here, and welcome to Theta Space. Today, I am going to run down my list of my favorite deep tracks by Blue Oyster Cult. Alright, so I actually was hoping to put up my review of Kenso's first album, but I still need to listen to it at least a couple more times. I have the CD reissue with a bunch of bonus tracks, and I still need to listen to it at least a couple of more times to give a proper review of the entire thing, bonus tracks included. I only considered the release tracks of the original LP on my album ranking, but as I review these albums, I'm going to be reviewing the actual CD that I own. So that got pushed to the back burner, hopefully next week. I'm also working on my album ranking of all the Blue Oyster Cult albums. I still need to give Heaven Forbid and Curse of the Hidden Mirror at least a couple of more listens each to properly place them. And it's difficult figuring out a actual ranked order for all of these. I mean, I know my top three. I definitely know my last place, and I'm thinking I know what's going to be in near the last place, but arranging the ones in the middle and the lower half is proving a little difficult. Probably going to be more than a little controversial, but hey, we all hear music differently, as some other dude said. So, here I'm going to run through the albums in chronological order and name my favorite deep track off each one. In some cases, a couple of honorable mentions when I had trouble narrowing it down to one. So, we start with the first album, Blue Oyster Cult, the self-titled, eponymous, and my deep track on that, I would pick Workshop of the Telescopes. If that doesn't count as a deep track anymore because Albert Bouchard included it on Reimaginos, then I would put Screams as my deep track pick from the first Blue Oyster Cult album, but officially it's Workshop of the Telescopes. Next one, Tyranny and Mutation album. Oh, so many good, that album is just so solid. I think for my favorite deep track, I would pick Wings Wetted Down, although I got a special place in my heart for Teen Archer and Baby Ice Dog. Secret Treaties. I would argue that Secret Treaties doesn't actually have any deep tracks. You know, you can't pick Dominance and Submission or Astronomy as a deep track. I've heard them perform ME 262 many a time. It even made one of the live album releases. I've heard them play Flaming Telepaths live. My pick for this album would be KG Cretins, which actually I saw them in March last year. That would be March 2022. They actually performed that. Buck Dharma sang Albert Bouchard's part. But if I gotta pick one, I pick KG Cretins as the deep track for Secret Treaties. For Agents of Fortune, I would pick Morning Final or Tenderloin. I'll put my nickel down on Morning Final, although Tenderloin's another favorite as well. Moving on to Spectres, probably my favorite track on the album is Nosferatu. Also got a special place for Death Valley Nights. I love the Nights up there, but I think to pick one, I think Nosferatu's kind of the obvious choice, but I'm going to be a little iconoclastic and go with Death Valley Nights, although it's a close call between those two for me. Mirrors is the one album that I'm going to spoil this right here for my eventual BOC album ranking. Mirrors is in last place. I don't like this album. I don't like the sound of it. I don't like the production, and for the most part, I don't like the songwriting. Dr. Music is one of those. I should save that for the album ranking. I'll just say that The Vigil is the only track that I really like on this album, but I don't think I'd consider that a deep track. It's made it into some live set lists. I pick Moon Crazy as my second least hated song on Mirrors. Cultosaurus Erectus, my deep track pick for this album is Deadline. It's got that BOC vibe to it, more than any other track on the album, I think, except maybe Unknown Tongue, but I think it's more of a deep track than Unknown Tongue. I've seen BOC about 5 times, and Unknown Tongue's been in there at least once. Fire of Unknown Origin, my pick is Soul Survivor. Funny thing about this track, I like to say that it was kind of remade by Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree. I believe it was the Lightbulb Sun album, his track A Smart Kid, because they're both about the same thing. There's the last survivor of planet Earth, the last man, basically just alone in the world until one day an alien spacecraft comes down. They just end differently. In Soul Survivor, he runs away, and in A Smart Kid, he says, "Please take me with you." The Revolution Bay Night. My deep track pick here is Veins, another one of those great Buck Dharma tunes. It's heavy as all hell and got that weird BOC creepiness. Yeah, Veins. Club Ninja. I got a few picks here. Pete Pardo ranked this one last, but I actually have a rather high opinion of this record. Well, it was one of the first that I heard when I was in high school. My best friend had it, so that could color my judgment a little, but I like Spy in the House of the Night is probably my pick, although this choice could have easily also gone to Shadow Warrior or Madness to the Method. All really good, underappreciated songs, I think. Imaginos, I don't even really think I should include it here. Many rightly, in my view, don't consider it a BOC album. It's a Sandy Pearlman project with members of BOC contributing. If I had to pick one off here, I guess I'd say Magna of Illusion. So on to Heaven Forbid, the record that I've only first heard in the past few months. I started listening to it. It's a good record, as others have observed, really heavy. My pick would be probably Cold Gray Light of Dawn. It's I relate to it, as well as to the beginning of Damaged also. I relate to those, so those songs speak to me. Cold Gray Light of Dawn, You Can't Hide From Yourself, and Damaged. I think Still Burnin' is another good candidate here, but pick one, Cold Gray Light of Dawn. Curse of the Hidden Mirror, was just reviewing this one today in preparation to do this video. Out of the Darkness. Absolutely, it's got to be Out of the Darkness. Definitely by a long way my favorite track on the album. Others good ones that I could have picked here would be Here Comes That Feeling, which at first glance at the track list I was thinking, did they cover the Asia song? And One Step Ahead of the Devil is a good one too. But pick just one, it's got to be Out of the Darkness. And that brings us to the most recent album, The Symbol Remains, which is a rather good album. I anticipate ranking it very highly in my album ranking when I get to that. That Was Me and Box in My Head and The Alchemist all have videos for them. Train True and Tainted Blood, they played live when I saw them March last year. I would pick Edge of the World. I vibe with that song, yeah. And also, Florida Man's a good one. I don't know if that counts as a deep track or not, but yeah, Florida Man. And that's my pick for favorite deep tracks by Blue Öyster Cult, one per album. I know I named several albums. I had more than one track, but there you have it. What can you do? My channel, my rules. Next week, I hope to be reviewing this sucker here, the first album by Kenso, the 1995 re-release on CD. And before that, I'll be reacting to Andy Edwards' video listing his top 10 Frank Zappa albums. I'm a big Zappa fan, and I'll have a list of my own, unlike the time I reacted to Pete Pardo's top 10 Yes songs. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out on Saturday. Want to give a special shout out to Scott Lade of the Prog Corner. Hey, brother, respect. Thanks for shouting me out there recently on your channel. Love what you do. Thank you for just being generally groovy. But, bro, Hiromi Wahara is not prog. She is jazz. Okay? Alright, that's it. Smash like if you up, and hit the subscribe button and notification bell. They don't cost anything. And I'll see y'all next time. Steph out. Peace.